We're here.
Robin,
Barb,
halfway to sane.
we're going to go insane, all right?
Uh-huh.
We just thought we'd come on and have a chat with people, see if anybody was around, maybe talk about some cases
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you feel like chatting about. We thought maybe we'd talk about, I don't know if you know the story about Michelle Reynolds. Michelle Reynolds is a teacher who last week, September 23rd, September 26th, disappeared outside of the Houston area. And the next day, her husband found her car in Louisiana. Right. Now, the police, they went and got some video footage from, I guess, a nearby business. And they got some video of Michelle rather. Why am I calling her Debbie? Because that's the other case. They got some video of Michelle the very next day walking away from the car and towards the expressway, wearing the same clothes that she was wearing the day before when she disappeared. Now, the husband says that she does have mental illness and that a couple days before the disappearance, she stopped taking her medication. But he says that in the 14 years they've been dealing with her mental illness, she's never up and disappeared before. So they don't know what's going on. And as the days go by, the more and more days that go by, they're getting more and more worried about being able to find her alive.
Plus, she's not on any medication.
Right. So is it possible that she hitchhiked somewhere? I mean, I don't know how long you can just, I mean, people live on the streets, but she's not prone to living on the street.
And she's not from Louisiana, right?
She's not from Louisiana, and the husband says the last time they were in Louisiana was probably 18 or 19 years ago. Right. So there's no family there, there's no friends there, there would be absolutely no reason for her to be there. So
Interesting.
It is interesting. Why would she? So did she just get in her car and just drive, and then just with like no place in mind to go? She just drove until she felt like stopping. And then my question is, if the husband tracked down the car via like the car's geo tracker or whatever, okay, he tracked the car down. She was not in the car, but all her stuff was in the car. Where was she from the time from the time she got there, when the husband got there, and when the video was taken? You know, they pulled the video the next day, supposedly. Yeah. Okay. So was she still nearby? Did they just miss her? Like, is the car still there? Did they have the car towed? And if they removed the car, why would they do that? Because there could be a chance she would come back to the car.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah.
They're not saying if they moved the car. You know, the husband didn't say, the husband took a ride with the brother-in-law or something. Didn't say that he left with the car. The police didn't say they had the car towed, but it's sitting at a business, I believe. So the business doesn't want it sitting there. So now she's stuck there.
Yeah.
If they move the car, she's literally stuck there. And if she has mental health issues, maybe she can't remember.
Where she parked the car.
No, I'm thinking if she knows where she parked the car and it's now gone and she's stranded, maybe with the mental health issues, she can't remember phone numbers to call anybody. We all have our phone numbers programmed in our phones, and not everybody memorizes the phone numbers. So,
but would she try to find a police officer?
Who knows?
I know.
Now, in case you're watching and you do think you've come across her or seen her car, it's a Lexus RX 300 with Texas license plate RSV 2914. So maybe you want to write that down in case you are in the Louisiana area or even the Texas area. If she's found her car and back in it and driving, who knows? There's literally no other information out there that I can find that.
Are they treating this like a missing person?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much went over everything that's out on the internet. So I don't know. I hope she's found. I hope they locate her. I don't know if the husband has made any return visits back to that spot. If he's out driving around Louisiana looking for her around that area.
Down low.
Right.
Yeah.
Where could she be?
That is the question.
And then we have the Debbie Collier case, who disappeared and was found the next day by the police, unalive, burned. That it's really weird. Like, I guess the night before she disappeared, the neighbors heard some huge argument, but the husband says he went to bed at 9 p.m., never heard anything. So, what time was the argument? Was the husband around? Who was the argument with? Was it with the husband, or was it with the daughter who supposedly moves back 2 days beforehand? Was it with her? Was it with her boyfriend? What would the argument have been about? Is that even why she disappeared? Was it because of the argument, or was it from something totally different? And what's up with the text message to the daughter about, the $2,385, I think it was, that was Venmo'd to her, supposedly by the mother. But the dollar amount matched the boyfriend's fines that he had. Like, there's some really weird cases out there right now. Some really brain busters, I don't have her stuff on me and here anymore. It's over at the table.
And they're treating that case as a missing person case.
Well, she's not missing.
That's right. She was found.
Yeah, she was found, but I think they're treating it as a homicide. I'm going to say 99.9% sure that that's what they're treating it as. They just need the person. They need to pin it on somebody, and I guess they don't have the exact person that they need to pin it on. They don't have enough information. Evidence. Yes, thank you. They do not have enough evidence to be able to pin it on said person. So, now what? So we all just,
Yeah, nobody
knows nothing.
Did she have a life insurance policy or anything?
I don't remember seeing anything at all about a life insurance policy. So if somebody out there has
information
heard about a life insurance policy, let us know. Have nothing to go on there. Let's put a hello out there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Can't do that. Yeah, it is interesting. I still find it strange that here the husband went to bed at 9 p.m. But when he left the house at 9 a.m. the next morning, her car was there. They stay in separate bedrooms. So he didn't bother to open up the bedroom door and say, "Hey, I'm leaving for the day." Like they supposedly had a good marriage. They weren't in separate bedrooms because they weren't getting along. He snores.
Oh, well,
So that's why they sleep in separate bedrooms. But if they got along, why would he not have went to her bedroom door and said, "Hey,
I'm leaving," or
I'm leaving.
giving her a kiss on the cheek,
right?
Or...
Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Right. So now, did the husband have something to do with it?
And that's a good question.
Is that who the argument was between? Yeah. So anyway, we're just talking about Michelle Reynolds and Debbie Collier.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get some more info out there if there is any more info. Oh, here's another thing with the Debbie Collier case. Why some of us think maybe it's the boyfriend. Not only does the Venmo dollar amount match, but I've been going on other people's videos, their streams, and he supposedly is contacting some of these other creators. Like he's reached out to some of the more top creators and is trying to say, oh, there's just the cops just don't have enough evidence dependent on anybody. They don't have anybody in mind. Yeah, he's like, if this is really him, like, why would he reach out and do that? Or is it phony balonies out there? Are they trolls that are just
that could
being
be
jerks? But there is a certain creator who I really like. She knows her stuff, and she supposedly reached out to him to see if he would answer any questions for her. And he responded back that he would, but then when it came time to do that, he backed out. Okay? And she showed proof of that. Okay? So I believe that that's true. All right? But then it was after that these other people that he was going on their streams, their videos, and making comments and saying, no, that's not the case, or this is what's going on, or whatever. So was it a troll off of that video, or I don't know.
Good question.
So is it really the boyfriend that's doing this? And is he trying to CYA and it's getting him in deeper? Questions we want answers to. And I'm sure the police are working hard on it. But, I'm not a family member. It's like, it just isn't going quick enough for me. So who knows? So come on, anybody out there that wants to chat with us, swap some info with us?
Yeah.
I thought there was something down here
Oh.
that was covering, but go back. That I was trying to figure out what that was. So I don't know. So, like I said, we're just recapping Michelle Reynolds and Debbie Collier.
Mm-hmm.
Come hang with us. Come chat with us. Come be friends with us.
If you have any information, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you know.
Or your theory.
Yeah.
I knew a big word.
That's a big word for you.
Well, it's a little word, but
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
thirsty.
Actually, I am. You know, my tongue is still sore from that thing yesterday.
Yep.
Drying it out. The pickles. I had pickles yesterday and they dried out my tongue. There was too much vinegar. I'm not sticking my tongue out at you people. My daughter's right over there who's being funny. I would never stick my tongue out at you people.
Don't get us in trouble.
Yeah, not that I'm getting in trouble. I don't want to get anybody mad.
Well, that's true. That's. I can't speak.
Oh, I know. Rose and Lucy are cuddling down there. They're trying to hide from the air conditioner.
Are you hiding from the air conditioner?
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Probably because it's like -2 degrees in front of the air
It's not.
conditioner.
It is not -2 degrees. But you know what? You know what I find funny is it's on dry, but when you stand in front of it, you get wet. You get some. What's the word I'm looking for? Precipitation, moisture. So I thought, oh, I wonder what it would be like if I put it on. It was snowing here.
That would
No.
be interesting.
So
Yeah.
Anybody want to talk about Debbie Collier? What you know, what you don't know? Michelle Reynolds, what you know or what you don't know? That come on now. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just Debbie Collier
Mm-hmm.
and Michelle Reynolds. Michelle Reynolds was the teacher who went missing and is still missing. She's been missing since like September 23rd, I believe. She has not been found. Her car's been found in Louisiana by the husband who geo-tracked it. The police found video the next day of, her walking, I guess, away from the vehicle towards the expressway, and there's been no sightings of her since. And then we just wanted to see if anybody had any new info on Debbie Collier, what your thoughts are on Debbie Collier, what's going on with her, the boyfriend, the daughter, the husband. It's a very strange case and
sad case.
It's sad. It's very sad. You can look at one scenario and think, oh, it's cut and dry, but then you throw in some other junk and, it's not cut and dry, So, like we were saying, the neighbors had heard an argument the night before and the husband went to bed at 9 p.m. So was the argument before 9 p.m. when the husband went to bed, or was it after 9 p.m. when he went to bed? But he says he never heard an argument. And then The next morning at 9 a.m., when he left, the car was still there, but he never went to her bedroom to say goodbye, which
See you later.
I find that strange. Like, they had a good marriage, but you don't say goodbye and that you're leaving or you're going to work or wherever you're going, so that's strange to me. But then I guess there were some issues with the daughter and the daughter's boyfriend, and you know,
Inquiring minds want to know.
yeah, like what's going on? What else has anybody else heard? Anything? It's I hope the daughter wasn't involved. I mean, the mother was found, deep clothed, I guess, from the bottom down, and then burned on her belly. They tried to set her on fire. She was burned on her belly, only on her belly, I guess, nowhere else, because the fire went out. Either they didn't know what they were doing or whatever, which is a good thing because I would hate to know that she was totally burned.
Yeah.
That's just insane, ridiculous, disgusting, horrid. You just don't do that to somebody. Um, So I hope the daughter wasn't involved, but was the boyfriend involved? And I say was the boyfriend involved because the Venmo dollar that was sent to her, which is $2,385, I believe, um, was almost the exact. Why are you trying to do that, puppy dog? Was almost the exact same amount that was owed for the boyfriend's fines. Am I in your way here, puppy? So, did the boyfriend do it to, you know, because he wanted that money to clear his name from his fines? Did the daughter help the boyfriend, which
I hope not.
is just sickening to me because I don't know. You just don't do that to your parents, no matter what kind of relationship you have with them. And I don't know. Both cases just have me baffled. Um, they really do. So, anybody got any news out there that you want to chat about? Anything you got to say?
Anything?
What's your
any
opinions?
cold cases you want to talk about, or I mean, these aren't cold cases, but
No, they're not cold cases, but we do cold cases. So, that's something we could always put on our list.
yeah.
Have no problem doing that. Or even looking things up now if we could. You know what I mean? But I don't know. If you are still listening, the info on the Michelle Reynolds vehicle. I don't have the color of the car, but if I remember correctly, it was either white or silver. And I want to say silver, but I'm not going to swear to it. But it was a Lexus RX 300. It was found in Louisiana. However, um, she's from Texas, so it has Texas plates. The Texas license plate is RSV 2914. Now, what I don't know, and this was a question I had earlier, the husband geo-tracked the car to Louisiana. It was sitting at some business. He called the police. The police noted that the car was there. Did the husband have to remove the vehicle? Did the police have the vehicle towed? What happens if Michelle were to come back looking for her car and the car's not there? And now she's stranded in Louisiana. Or was the husband able to move it somewhere nearby? I'm hoping the car was not removed. I'm hoping they found a way to leave the car there, because even though she has a mental illness, something might bring her back to that vehicle. All her belongings were still in the vehicle when the husband found the vehicle. But it just would seem very odd to me if the police said, no, we need to move the vehicle. It's sitting in a business parking lot. It has to be moved. Was he able to move it onto the street for some time before?
And will it stay there without the police towing it away.
Right. Or is the husband coming back and maybe moving it a little bit here and there? And then with the mental illness, does she not, is she totally out of her mind that she doesn't remember who she is and doesn't know where she's going, doesn't know what's going on? Could she be in a hospital somewhere?
I was going to say, did they check hospitals and that?
I have no idea. There's nobody saying anything about that either. Like if I was the husband, I would have been calling all the hospitals in that Louisiana area where the car was found.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did anybody take her to a hospital, and she's now some Jane Doe there?
Or sitting in jail.
Exactly.
I mean, because she's not on her meds. Maybe she,
maybe she did something. Maybe, who knows? It's driving me insane.
Help her out. Help her out.
No, it really, really is. I don't know if any of y'all have heard of this case or not, but, it's come across our news break since, like I said, the last week of September. So, I don't know. Don't know.
All right.
She wasn't expected. She was in New Orleans. That's where she was in Louisiana. New Orleans. Yeah. Husband says she was not expected to be there for any reason when she was reported missing. So now what? Where are the police looking? Did she hitchhike back to Texas? Maybe in her brain she's thinking, I live in Texas. That's where I should be.
But I don't remember where I live in Texas.
I don't remember where my car is. How did I get here? So she's trying to hitchhike her way back to Texas. So, I mean, there could be hospitals from Louisiana to Texas that need to be checked. That's a long list of hospitals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very long list.
It's a very long list.
Yeah.
I would.
Or did she try to hitchhike back to Texas and someone picked her up and
Right, something
We
happened.
don't know. Yeah.
That's another thing we were
That's
talking
another
about.
question.
If something happened to her, if somebody
Along
did
the
something
way,
to her,
yeah.
she could be discarded anywhere, which I hope that is not the case. I don't want that to be. I want her to be alive and to be somewhere that
We
they
want to
just
find her well.
we want to find her well. She may not be well because she's got the mental illness, but find her alive.
Get her back home.
Get her back home. Make sure she's not hurt. Get her back on her meds.
Elbow.
Unfortunately, the Debbie Collier case, we know what her ending was, and now we all just need answers to
Yes.
who did it.
Yep.
Who did it? Who done it?
Who done it?
Who done it? I didn't do it.
No.
You didn't do it. None of us done it.
Anybody have anything they want to chat about?
Yeah, we don't have to just chat about the cases. We can chat about anything. We're open to suggestions. Yes, it's Coke. I'm not drinking booze.
We are not promoting them in any way, shape, or form.
You can show a can of Coke. Oh my goodness. So what kind of day did everybody have today? Did everybody still have to work today with it being Columbus Day?
Columbus Day isn't that big. I mean,
it's not, but a lot of businesses still closed.
Yeah. Well,
So, or if you've got children and they didn't have school, you might have had to take off of work to take care of the kiddos. I remember
we
having
don't
to
have
do
any
that.
little kids anymore.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness. I'm glad I'm out of that stage. Hey, it's tough trying to find childcare when you're a parent and school's closed and you have to work.
I was lucky enough to be able to stay home with my kids,
Not me.
but then they drove me nuts sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes. Most times, but
Well, I was the only one who ever stayed home to watch them. So if anybody had to take off of work, it was me. Or sometimes if I couldn't do that, then I would have to rely on a grandparent.
listen, it's bad when I wanted to go to work. I'm getting a job. Is that okay? It's not. It has to be okay because I'm getting one.
Oh my.
Nah.
That's when they were older though, right?
No, Sam. He was actually she was probably a year old.
Well, who watched her then?
Her father and her older sister.
Oh, okay. Oh, you worked at night.
Yeah.
That's right. You didn't need daycare.
Right.
Lucky you.
Yes.
I always had to do daycare and I hated it. Hated having to do that to my kids. I figured they got enough socialization in school. They didn't need daycare. Well, it's not the same you would have been in school at a year old, but I'm talking about school age.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of pros and cons about that too. We could do a video about that one day.
Yeah, we could. But that's not true crime. That has to be on our other
That has
channel.
to be, exactly.
Yeah.
And she should be on that one.
Yeah, she should be in on that one. She's the one that had to deal with it. I had some experience having to be, I wasn't in a daycare per se. I was in a family home daycare when I was younger. I was pulled, I did not need to, I started taking care of myself when I was like 9. My parents stopped paying for daycare. And that was even over the summer. I would take myself to the pool. And we only lived a couple. We only look how close we were to the swimming pool.
Yeah, but I mean, luckily it was back in the 1900s.
The 1900s
when it was a lot safer.
Yeah, it wasn't really safer. I remember.
No, you heard far and few between.
Yeah, there's a couple cases from my area where kids went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Where one boy was never found to this day.
Yeah, right, and then you kind of had to stay in the house for a couple of weeks then.
Yeah, and then the one little girl, she was found at Lake Nakamixon.
Oh.
Yeah, they found her a week later. But that was a messed up case. I'm going to bring this up because that, to me, that's a crime. Okay? Listen, the parent, this little girl was 6 years old. Okay? 6. Tiny little 6-year-old, blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl. Very cute. The parents also had a 9-year-old boy. They needed milk the next day for breakfast. It was 11 o'clock at night. And they asked the son to go to the store and get the milk. Well, he didn't feel like going. So they sent the 6-year-old little girl down this dark back alley, down the street, around the corner to the store. Now, it wasn't very far, but it wasn't safe either. Well, somebody picked her up. And needless to say, she's not with us anymore. And I hope the parents were charged. I really don't remember because I was like 11 or 12 years old when this happened. I don't remember her name. I should be able to look it up by time frame though. Maybe.
Yeah.
But and the fact that she was found at Lake Nakamixon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they never caught the person who did it. I mean, how would you know that unless somebody's seen said person pick her up and then write down the license plate? I mean, that takes a keen eye to even know that somebody's picking up a child that doesn't belong to them.
Yeah, because they really didn't have cameras on the streets back then.
I mean, and think where this was. I forget the name. You know the store. I'm trying to think of the name. It was that store that was right by Good Shepherd, Supreme or something like that. Highway Supreme. What?
She's trying to tell Lucy to get off.
Oh. You know where I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a back alley that goes behind that store. And up that back alley, it kind of goes like this, around and up a hill, then to houses. But she came down onto that busy road by herself. So now if somebody pulled into that store, seen her go in there by herself, and then come out to leave by herself, there's no other car there. They followed her all the way up the hill, and she got to the house next door to her own house, where the milk was found in the yard next to her own house. That's how close she got to home. He has to live with that,
Yeah.
knowing that his parents were neglectful, and that could have been him, right? It's crazy. But I really hope that those parents were charged and they did some kind of jail time. And if they did, it probably wouldn't have been enough. Or they just got probation or something, which to me is that's not punishment. Probation is not punishment. That's as far as I'm concerned.
No, if you're on probation, you get to do things yet you're not.
Exactly. You're still living at home.
Right.
You're getting to do everything that you got to do. Go to work, hang out, have fun. You're not being punished. The only way you're being punished is if you break your probation and you
Yeah,
gotta
and
go
if they
back to
catch
jail.
you.
Right. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Um,
I can't remember the name of the little boy that disappeared down at Jordan Park. When I know the name, when I hear the name, I know it. But right now, I can't think of it. But he was never found to this day. Parents went through a lot of mental problems. They lost their home. They moved to the house next door to the home they lost. And then they lost that home. And now they're not living in the area at all. Yeah, the mom did not handle it well. She had a lot of mental problems afterwards. And I guess maybe because of that, maybe she wasn't working. So they ended up losing the home eventually. Yeah, that was sad. But he was last seen at Jordan Park. Nobody actually really knows where he disappeared from.
Yeah.
But he lived right in that area there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the parents didn't report him missing until like midnight or something like that because he was allowed out. He was only like 8 years old at the time, and I guess he had a habit of he'd get up early in the morning, go right outside, and he would not come back in the house till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So the parents didn't think nothing
So
of
they
it.
thought nothing was wrong
Right.
when he didn't come home.
Yep. So he could have been gone like at 10 o'clock in the morning already.
Well, I guess I'm glad my parents had a strict dinner time and stuff, you know, and if we heard my dad's whistle, we were on our way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
And nowadays, I wouldn't let my kids out at all anymore.
You try
by
not to
themselves.
let your kid out, but sometimes she sneaks out, you know.
That is so not
Maybe it's not true.
It's not true.
I never had to worry about her. But I couldn't let her run freely either because, you know, it's
She
just,
was brought up in a different age.
yep. Crazy, crazy world.
Did Sissy ever speak out?
No. If she did, I don't know about it.
She's gonna ask her.
Or you know the answer to that?
Oh no, I have no idea.
Oh,
I don't think she did.
I don't think so.
Well, if you let your kids have a life, they usually don't
Right,
rebel.
right. So come on, anybody want to chat?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hang with us. We don't have to talk about the true crime. We can talk about some fun stuff if you want. I think I'll give it about 4 more minutes. And then we'll get going for the night. Sound good?
That's up to you.
Unless somebody wants to chat, then we'll stay
Right.
on.
Mm-hmm.
You want to chat? We'll stay here. We'll stay here as long as you like.
We can't see you, but we know you can see us and not show up.
Right.
So come on in.
Come hang.
Come
talk.
hang. Come
Come
hang
chat.
with halfway to sane.
Yeah, we're only slightly insane. Well, you might be 3/4 of the way there.
Hey. All right, I'll tell you the truth. I am. I might be a little further than that, but these dogs are sleeping.
I know. Everybody seems to be sleeping except for us.
Somebody better put her show on soon, or she's not going to get time to watch.
I know. You hear that over there? You better put your show on soon. You're going to lose out.
That's so not fair.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You're doing a lie.
Doesn't matter. You can still watch it.
No, because they told me like why these they have to like 30. So,
Oh, excuses, excuses.
hey, you got to watch it for 2 hours extra yesterday.
Doesn't matter.
It's
All right,
cold
2 more minutes, peeps. Or come
Yeah.
on in and chat. If you come on in and chat, we'll stay and hang.
That's what they're making for dinner.
Yeah, what's for dinner? I'm not making dinner.
I'll take a sandwich for a wrap. You know what I mean?
You have your anymore
You
too.
make me that
Oh yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
All right.
What's the weather like?
Sunny outside.
I think for them.
I don't know what the weather is for everybody else.
That's what you asked. That's what the fucking funny thing about it. Lola looks comfy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Lola's very comfy. You can't see her. She's right here. Right there. It's all curled up next to me. My little Lola bear. Oops.
Like them.
You probably seen her hair flip over.
You scared her.
Oh,
She looks
baby
like
girl.
She looks like an otter. The way her face and hair is right now. She looks
Tell
like
Sissy to be quiet.
that was a compliment.
Oh,
Otters are cute.
I didn't realize that.
Otters are one of my favorite animals.
Get that out of your mouth.
Yeah, you know I'm aware that's been.
Yeah, I do.
She's always complaining the dogs are chewing on them, and there she is chewing on
I
them.
was not chewing on it. It was resting on my lip.
Mm-hmm.
I did not chew down on it because I don't want to.
All right,
bite
people.
through it.
We hit 44:44.
Yep, I saw that.
What's
Hey, we're gonna get out of here.
Yep, we're gonna go, but we'll do another live again another day. And you can come hang out with us then.
Peace
But-
out.
Yep. Good night. Peace out.
Well, it's 44:44.
The time.